Greetings from wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching the PR Guru Show. My name is Janet Kiriswo and the production behind it, the Wala Production. Now, we are still continuing with the episodes concerning employee relations, and today I want us to look at the factors influencing employee relationships. Okay, now as long as you're in that organization, at whatever capacity, at whatever level, then you are an employee. Now, and we are talking about the relationships that cut across. Nice. Now, there's some different factors, and these factors have to be a third. There is the institutional factors, okay? And then we have the economic factors. We also have the technical or technological factors, psychological factors, political and legal factors, and global factors. Now, what am I talking about? There are different ways that you are guided step by step. You know, there's a reason why a standard 1 kid or a grade 1 kid cannot do mathematics for a grade 6. That person finds it so hard to understand how grade 6. But step by step, by the time this person reaches grade 6, it becomes so easy. The same way as you in that organization. By the time you opened this organization, first of all, you are guided by the laws of the land. You are told about having an organization. You are told about having an organization in a particular area. And then you did your own research. You started creating a logo. You started having a business name. You were taught how to protect it. And then you were taught for a small business, you pay these taxes. A big business, you pay these taxes. For this and this, gradually, everything is gradual. Okay. Now, same as you understanding this institutional, economical, technological, all right, factors that affect employees. Number one, when we talk about institutional factors, what are we talking about? Nice. So we are talking about the HR, that is the human resource policies and practices. Of course, you will sit down and see, okay, I need to start employing. How do I start? Whom do I employ? And this is now where the debate comes in. Some people bring in relatives massively, and then they fail massively, or they achieve the best massively. Now, some people employ by merit and they succeed. Nice. Now, that is the policy of the institution. One policy to one factor under the institutional factors. Number two is organization climate. Okay, will I achieve this in this area? Am I prone to get disturbed by ABC? Where do I take this business of mine? Where, you know, that's those questions. Is this suitable here? Will I get clients? Nice. The other one is code of conduct. The code of conduct in institutions, depending on the careers that you have there, should always be adhered. As a PR profession, I have my code of conduct. As a journalist too, I have my code of conduct. I know what to do, what not to do. Okay, nice. We also have the contracts agreements. When you sign a contract with someone, those are institutional factors. Well, did I breach this contract? Is this contract, you know, what comes with this contract? There are so many people who appreciate being under contracts. Yet, is it long term? Is it short term? And then what is in this contract? Before I sign this contract in this organization, is it realistic? Is it going as per the laws of Kenya? Contracts have so many things inside. I think there's a day we will have to break down contracts. Now, there are some contracts that have some unrealistic goals. Reason being, the HR is so lazy, just downloaded a contract from a certain organization and brought to this organization and just changed someone to. I'm not saying the HR is lazy. I'm just giving an example. As a HR, have you sat down and realistically formed this contract? Because those that take contracts from other organizations, remember that organization is a different one in terms of culture, vision, and mission. And maybe their earnings are way high. their expectation, their dealings, not the same with this organization. So always start from scratch and grow gradually. Know that I have to add this, after some time I have to add this, nice. And then now there's the labor unions. In Kenya, we have a labor ministry. There are also unions. Like for PR, we have PRSK. For journalism, we have MCK, Media Council of Kenya. We have different. For you as a doctor, you have your own. For another profession, they have their own unions that help ensure that you get the right things in the organization. When you talk about unions, we have a representation that always fights for our rights in these organizations. Reason being, some organizations tend to abuse some careers, and they don't tend to give them the right value of salary, especially. I'll give you an example of media houses led by media professionals. You will get fully sorted, but some media houses just led by people who had visions and they are told they can come up with media houses. If they don't employ proper guidance to represent them, then you will find that there are a lot of violations of the people that are employed. And because people are desperate in Kenya, you find some people just falling into such traps. So we still have a long journey in achieving organizations that respect unions, okay? Number 2, economic factors. Now, economic factors in terms of ownership. And this is where now it plays a part. When the organization is a public organization, it is different from a private organization. All right. Now, in private organizations, there are strict laws and everything, but there are also a lot of benefits. In public organizations also, I will not say strict laws are there, but they're there to be abused. They're not really followed that much. But when it comes to some benefits, they are there, like you're pensionable, you get treatment allowances, you're covered, some good things. So there is good in every place. But the factor here on economic factor is understand, are you in the private sector or in the public sector? Now, nature of the workplace. How does your workplace look like? Is it conducive? Is it an organization that is able to make you flourish and everything? Sources of labor. Where do you get these sources of labor? Are you going to afford employing such and such a person? Are you going to afford? Or you're going to just bring them and then they suffer in terms of salary? Are you having regular salaries or some salaries delayed for 3 months? Disparity of wages. Yeah, I've just talking about that, disparity of wages, where you don't get regular way of paying people. You don't even give people allowances. It's Christmas Day, you've not even given people bonuses. It's Easter, you've not given people some bunny envelopes. You see? Now, level of unemployment also, this falls under economic factors. So, what kind of people are you looking for to work in your organization? What is the level of their employment? You have to respect that, because you have to pay according to that level. All right? Now, we go to technological factors. This means like you look at the work methods. How? Type of technology. Is it a place where you have to really embrace this technology? The rate of changes that happens in terms of technology, you need to be up to par. Like you're working in a business where you're selling printers, you have to have the best. You have to have the most recent. You have to know, like, this machine was produced in which year, but it is really good and it works, and the ability of people to cope with the changes and the challenges that comes along. There are so many things. Now, we go to another factor, and this is the psychological factor. All right, these are the factors that we are talking about amongst the 6 that play a role in the employee relations. Now, psychological factors, we have owner's attitude. Is the director or the dream bearer flexible, approachable? Yeah, is that person experienced? Is that person a professional of that field? Remember what I talked about? People owning organizations and they are not expert in it? Right. So, owner's attitude. And then workers' attitude. What is the attitude of the workers? And who creates these attitudes? Nice. And then the perception of the workforce. Is it too much? Is it not there? Is it yielding results? Is it not yielding results? Are there few people in the organizations? Are there more people, you know? And then their motivation, their interest, and their dissatisfaction. So psychologically, are they motivated? Are they interested even in working? Are they dissatisfied? Have you ever been having a discussion with someone and they say, as long as mwisho wa mwezi I'm earning something, I don't care, let me just report. As long as I'm earning, have you ever heard of such? That is a very unfortunate comment. Unfortunate to the organization, and unfortunate also to this person, because clearly there is no growth if you're just there for the pay. And if the employer cannot realize that there is something like this, then there's a loophole. Now, another factor is the political and legal factors. Now, have you had organizations falling due to political changes? Have you heard of organizations also falling because of legal changes? Because employees were not satisfied, they went to the labor courts, and some things were done, and the organization fell. And that is why I talked about the employee relations and the things that you need to consider. And that is where I come in as a PRO, such that you avoid bridging some things. All right. Now, in political and legal factors, the political philosophy of the land. Number 2, the attitude of the government towards your business. Nice. The labor laws. Nice. Role of your organization in the country. There are so many things. I'll give you an example of the attitude of the government towards your business. You remember the political time when there was a certain organization that was a brewing organization that faced some challenges. That was just a political attitude towards that organization. But if you look at it now, things are thriving. You see some businesses that were not performing long ago, now they are thriving because it is actually called political goodwill. Now, the other thing is the global factors. Now, have you heard of people saying investors are no longer there? Investors ran away because of insecurity, because of high taxes, because of high economic inflation in economics, okay, living standards, or expense and everything. So this is a global factor. There is this also international relations, how your country relates with the world determines if people are going to do business in your country. And remember, when other countries are interested in investing with your country, this means employment to your country people. It also means increase in terms of revenue because they'll pay taxes. It also means there is room for people to be employed and so many other factors. And remember, this is just a small digestion. When you talk about international laws, there's also a bigger digestion that comes now. There's diplomats, there's this and this, but let's digest where we can digest, okay? So there's newest formats of bylaws, of benefits in terms of businesses. You hear people saying, you know, this and so countries invest in Kenya because they are getting some benefits. They cannot invest in us because they are not getting some benefits. Or you see so and so is really going to the west or going to the west. You've had such politics. Anyway, and then the International Labour Agreement. So let's just, that one is handled by the big politicians and everything, the diplomats and everything. But let's digest what we've spoken about. That is the psychological factors, political factors, and legal factors, institutional, economic, and technological. I hope by now you have understood how important employee relations is, and you will not assume any of them. I hope now you understand where the public relations officer comes in. All right? Yeah. More to ensure the employees are well taken care of, are flexible. The HR will play his or her role. I'm not coming to play his or her role. I'm just coming to oversee. Is it played well? And where can the juices and the spices be added to make this production of having the organization productivity go high, become more successful. Okay, nice. So these issues can be so serious. Do not take them for granted. It is worth using your time as the dream bearer, as the CEO, to focus and avoid such issues. Ensure you are open. Okay, communicate openly. When your organization is not making profit, let them understand we are facing challenges. So at some point we might have to. All right, nice. Remind your employees about your vision, your mission, and the core values if you have them. Policies if you have them. Also, address employee relations, not when having orientation, but periodically. Remember initially I said from the start of the employee stepping foot in that organization? No, but make it periodically so that they don't forget. Nice. Another thing is always benchmark to see what other people are doing. All right. And then on how to make employee relations much better. How is that organization doing it? How is this other one doing it? How is this other one doing it? Okay, nice. Like, I'll give you an example. I was in an organization where instead, because the environments, the climate is different in every organization climate, remember what I spoke about? And affording lunch is really tough sometimes, depending on where the organization is and what you pay these people. So when they make their local arrangements to have someone bring lunch, affordable lunch in good quality to their office, that's why I said respect the employees' breaks. When they are brought and they are placed somewhere by this person, when you come in, don't say, kazi yenu ni kukula tu. Those are demoralizing words, and it shows your incompetence as a leader. You know, understand, see that, and if you're not pleased with it, go and sit down and understand why they did that. All right? Maybe they can afford that. Or maybe, you see, if you can organize for someone to be cooking for them, you know, it will create an employment and it will keep them safe. And maybe these employees thought about, why can't we eat from work? You know, they will not eat forever. They will finish within 10 minutes and 20, and they'll come back to their job because they love their work. All right? So sometimes don't look at things at the negative point of view. Don't look at things, don't force issues, we cannot all be CDFs. No, we are different. That's why I gave an example initially of loud galgalos, you know, silent Martins, you know, aggressive this and this, but they all are there for achieving the goodwill of the organization. The other thing is how to ensure that the employee cry hard. Ensure that you share their points. Okay, make them part and parcel. When you share points and they share theirs also, they feel part and parcel. That is just one trick to ensure employees are always there for the benefit of the organization. Okay, and share feedback on what they raise. Sometimes they raise very tough issues. Don't look at them as being the, they are being rude or anything. No, look at them being open. They're trying to open up. Sit down somewhere and digest, and then I'll bring the feedback. Bring it personally. Nice. I set up listening posts across the organization. Nice. They are, what do we call, suggestion box. I told you about surveys through questionnaires. Just decide to give them questionnaires. Feel about this. Who is the best employee? Who is the best person to get along with? And they will feel and they will feel and they'll feel and they'll get that. Another thing also, when they are leaving the organization, do a small interview. Because of course, a good employee who has been well cultured will adhere to the contract that says, give a 1 month notice. When they say give a 1 month notice and the employee does, please ensure you organize for his or her benefits. Okay, we call it, there is a name that you have to pay this employee. I don't know why it's disappearing from me, but there is a name where the employee gets the benefits of all the years they've been working, the leave days never went, depending on the contract. Now, seek to understand this employee. Why are you leaving? Give that employee a form to fill. Is it because of dissatisfaction? Most of them, you'll feel like they need growth. they need exposure. So don't feel bad, but also don't forcefully retain them. There's a trick towards that. Take the points that they have given you, sit down, break them down silently. Understand, he said he needs exposure. So you ask yourself, my organization doesn't have exposure? Growth. Ask yourself, did you ever promote this employee? If you didn't, and this employee has been there for long, then you will understand. Remember, promotions comes in 2 to 3 years. Some can be very lucky to be promoted earlier. Another thing also, if the employee says there is no conducive working environment, learn from it, and then don't penalize, and then do not, it is called gratuity, I've gotten it, the word, it's gratuity. Don't delay the gratuity of this employee. Finish, one touch, raw safi, because he or she has followed the right platform by ensuring that they gave a 1 month notice. Okay, now the other thing is in the middle of your working, maybe it's quarterly, do surveys to understand the organization, how things are going. The suggestion box can be very dangerous because they will kill you. They'll give you a heart attack because people will write and say, kumbuka kuna Mungu wa wanyonge, endelea tu kutunyima mshahara, endelea kudelay na unanunua gari. You will get terrible things in the suggestion box, but digest them well. So which best way can you approach that? Always do surveys, regular surveys, in order to avoid these shocks. Nice. And then use feedback to see if there is need for capacity building. You see, if there is need for speakers to come to the organization, if there is need for retreats, if there is need for tours, if there is need for mentorship, okay, for organization chit chat, for organization health days, for organization, nice. So until there, I am going to say employee relations is a very, very wide topic, but I hope you have learned something. Please use these episodes to watch when you're alone, or if you're confident with what I'm speaking about and feel like you can show your employees, well and good, share the link with them in your WhatsApp group, let them watch. And then if it is your HR, your sales department, HODs, and you want them to get tips from this, then give them the link separately so that they can watch and get the points. I always say, take the positive, leave the negative. Thank you so much. My name is Janet Kiriswo. You are the reason why I'm here. Thank you to the Wala Production. Contact me with the contacts below. Have a blessed and productive month, week, year ahead. Bye-bye.